Hi, welcome to Petradot. And in today's lesson, we'll be learning the conditional statement. So, what is the conditional statement? The conditional statement is a statement that allows you to perform a particular block of code or action based on a condition. So, if the condition is true, the action is carried out. Else, any other action will not happen. So, the conditional statement in Java is very, very fundamental and even in programming generally because it helps in the program flow. It helps to control the program flow so as to perform an action depending on the condition that is met. And the formula can be said to be, for example, if condition, condition in the brackets, condition, then inside the block, perform this action. Inside the block, perform action. And this is what the block of an if statement looks like. So we are going to test run with a simple example. For example, we want to check, we want to print out a message to the output given that a particular number is greater than a particular value. So we'll use this block the way it is here, the formula here, which is if bracket open 23, for example, is greater than 30, then print out this to the output, which is I am always great. If 23 is greater than 30, print I am always great. So let's run this program and see. You can see that nothing happened. Nothing was printed on the screen when we run this program because 23 is never greater than 30. But let's say we change this to 33, greater than 30. If it is greater than 30, print this. Let's see. Let's run the program again and see. You can see I now have I am always great on the what? On the output. I am always great because 33 is greater than 30, right? So, and this is an example of a simple if block. But let us test run if else statement. The if else statement is used to perform an alternate action. Let's say, for example, we have a different message for when it is greater than 30 and a different message for when it is less than 30, right? So if it is greater than 30, do this. Else, you enter an else block, right? Else, which follows by a block, right? And this is the way it goes. So after the if statement and the closing of the if, the next one that will follow will be the else. That is when you are working, working with the if else statement. Else, system.out.println, I always do my best. So if it is greater than 30, print I am always great. But if it else, do what? Print I always do my best. So let's say, for example, we now have 10 here. Let's run this program and see what is going to happen. You can see now. So because it didn't meet the first condition, which is if the condition, it didn't meet it, what did it do? It came to the else block and ran this one, which is I always do my best. And that is the if else statement. So the if else statement is used to perform an action, two different type of action depending on the condition. So if the condition met here is true, the if block is carried out. But if it does not, the else block is carried out, right? So any of them that happens, only one that will come as the output, and that is the if else statement. So then we have the if else if statement, right? The if else if statement is used whenever you have multiple conditions to check. For example, we are going to be using a grading system whereby if a student scores between a particular grade, you give the person A or B or C or D, right? So let's say, for example, we want to check when a student scores less than 40, we'll give the person C, right? If the person scores between 40 to 50 will give the person let's say we'll give this person F here, then we'll give the person C here, then between 50 to 60 we'll give the person B, and 60 and above 60 above will give the person what? A. So we are to check these conditions using the if else if statement. So let's try it out and see. So let me collapse this. So given that we have let me remove this one too. Given that we have defined score, int score is equal to, for example, 40. So we'll now say if score is less than 40, right, as we have here. So system.out.println, you got your grade is F, right? So we'll print out this as the output. So the next thing now is the next condition, which is else another if comes in, and that is where the if else if comes in. So we are going to check the next condition, and the next condition is if it is between 40 and 50, right? So if score is greater than or equal to 40 and score is less than 50, then print your grade is C. Then we are going to check for the next condition where another else if block comes in again. So I'll just copy this, saying else if the score is greater than or equal to 50 but less than 60, print that your grade is what? B, right? Then the final one, which is above 60, because if the condition didn't meet all of them, any of these, means the next one will surely be above 60, right? So that means we'll now add the final block to be else system.out.println, your grade is A, right? So you can see it now that we have if else if else if else. So the if else if block is used to check for multiple conditions. You can see that this is controlling our program flow. So each of these will be printed based on the condition that is met. If it checks for this condition and it is met, it will print this. But if it is not met, it will jump it and check for this. If this one is not met, it will jump it, else it will print this particular one, right? So, but if it didn't meet it, it will jump it and come here. If it meets this particular condition in this block, else if block here, it will print this. But if it didn't meet the condition, that means all these conditions failed. It will come to the else block and print the last one. So let us run this code and see. Remember, our score at this point is 40. You can see your grade is C. Why? Because our score of 40 is not less than 40. It's actually 40. So look at the condition that was met. Score is greater than or equal to 40, and it is also less than 50. Hence, our grade is C. So imagine that this now is 55, and you run this program. Our grade is B, because it didn't meet this condition. It is not less than, less than 50, and it's not less than 50, yes. And here it is greater than 50, but not but it is less than 60 and greater than what? 50, right? Hence our grade is what? B. So exactly, so the if else if statement helps you to check for multiple conditions in your program. So to recap all we said, the conditional statement is a statement that is used in Java to perform an action or a block of code based on a particular condition, as you just see it here in this simple formula here. So if condition is true, perform this action, else move ahead. Then where we say that we have the simple if block, then we have the if else block, which is used to check for only two conditions, then the if else if block, which is used to check for multiple conditions. All right, so this will be the end of the lesson today. If there is any question, do well to drop it on the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.